This is a press conference on the exhibition of the Provisional Voters Register. The Commission wishes to express its appreciation to God for giving us the strength to undertake our responsibilities. We thank you, the media actors, for always standing with us to educate and inform the good people of our dear country about the electoral process and its importance to the country's development. Today's Let the Citizen Know is about the exhibition of the Provisional Voters Register, which begins on 20th August and ends on 27th August, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. The exercise will take place at all polling stations in all the 268 districts nationwide. The exhibition exercise is one of the main activities the Commission is required to perform ahead of the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. This exercise is exclusively about correcting the Provisional Voters Register to make the Voters Register robust and credible for the 2024 general elections. Again, the Voters Register in its current state is provisional, and the exhibition exercise is meant to correct the register of all errors before it is finalized for the elections. By provisional, it implies that the register is not final. After the exhibition exercise, the voters' register will be accurate and credible, and this will result in the final register, which will be used for the elections. We have heard in sections of the media that the Commission has not given the provisional register to the political parties. After informing the parties to bring their external drives, we wish to place on record that per Regulation 22 of CI 91, as amended by CI 126, the Commission is required to give the provisional register to the political parties not later than 3 months from the end of the registration period. As you may be aware, the limited registration ended on 29th May 2024, and the mop-up registration ended on 3rd August 2024. On the basis of the limited registration, the Commission has until the end of August 2024 to give the provisional register to the political parties. We wish to state that the external drives containing the provisional voters register are ready for pickup. However, we can state on record that the NDC has collected its external drive, which contains the provisional voters register. The other parties are also collecting them as we speak. Pursuant to Article 45E of the 1992 Constitution, the Commission is required to undertake programs for the expansion of the registration of voters. As such, in 2024, the Commission registered voters from 7th to 29th May during the limited registration, and the mop-up registration from 1st to 3rd August. As a result of this expansion of the voters register, Regulation 23(1) of the Public Elections Registration of Voters Regulations 2016, CI 91, as amended by CI 126, mandates the Commission to display the provisional voters register for public inspection at all polling stations. Thus, the provisional voters register will be displayed at all polling stations, which will now be constituted as exhibition centers throughout the country to enable all registered voters check and ensure that their names are in the voters register. The purpose of the exhibition exercise is to allow registered voters to verify their details, that is name, age, sex, polling station, and photograph, as captured during the registration exercise, and make requests for amendments, changes, or insertions where necessary to their details in the voters register. The prime goal of the exercise is to help voters to know their polling stations on the day of voting. So it is important that all registered voters go to the exhibition centers to check their names. At the exhibition centers, registered voters can make the following requests: inclusion of omitted names, objection to names of unqualified voters on the register, removal of names of deceased voters from the register, replacement of poor quality or damaged voter ID cards, correction to wrong spelling of names, correction to wrong registration center codes, amendment to other registration details such as age and sex as a result of clerical error. Requests made at the exhibition centers are recorded on the exhibition forms and on the voters register provided at the exhibition centers. These forms are sent to the district office at the end of the exhibition exercise to be processed. District registration review officers, that is district court magistrates, have been appointed in all the 268 district offices to receive the provisional voters register and other lists and forms containing complaints and objections that were raised during the exhibition exercise. The district registration review officers will then make a determination on each of the cases and endorse each page of the provisional voters register for authentication purposes. For the information of the general public, voters are advised to go to the exhibition centers with their voter identity cards to verify their details. This facilitates the process for verification of details. However, registered voters who fail to bring along their voter ID cards could also verify their details, but they cannot request any amendments to their details. It is also allowed for registered voters to verify the voter details of friends and relations. However, only the owner of the voter ID card can request for changes to his or her details in the register. To effect major changes or corrections during the exhibition of the voters register, such as complete change of the name of a voter or addition of new names, change of polling station code, change of photographs, and inclusion of omitted names, the voter is required to go to the district office of the commission for a biometric authentication of the voter before the change will be effected. At the exhibition center, the following list will also be displayed: exception list and the multiple list. The exception list contains the names and photographs of applicants whose registration as voters were challenged during the registration exercise and were subsequently disqualified by the respective district registration review committees. Details of deceased voters are also recorded in the exception list. The multiple registration list contains details of persons who have registered more than once. Persons whose details, names, and photographs appear in either the exception list or the multiple registration list will not have their names and photographs on the voters register and will therefore not be able to vote on election day. So those people are debarred from voting. The 2024 provisional voters register, including the mop-up, and the 2023 voters register, inclusive of the 2020 register, will be displayed at all the exhibition centers. The commission is again entreating all registered voters, especially those who registered in the 2024 limited registration exercise at the district offices of the commission and the selected electoral areas, as well as during the mop-up exercise, to visit the exhibition centers to ascertain whether they were assigned to the correct polling stations or not. The following persons may also visit the exhibition centers: exhibition supervisors and deputy exhibition supervisors, members and staff of the Electoral Commission, persons accompanying registered voters who are physically incapacitated, persons accredited by the Commission, including party representatives, journalists, and observers. The Commission has also recruited and trained all officials needed for the exhibition exercise. They include exhibition supervisors, deputy exhibition supervisors, and exhibition officers. The Commission has sent all the relevant materials needed for the exhibition exercise to the regions, and these materials are in adequate quantities. The Commission again urges the general public, especially registered voters, to show interest in the upcoming voter exhibition exercise, to assist the Commission and update and produce a credible voters register for the 2024 general elections. The exhibition exercise also provides an avenue for qualified citizens to object to the names of minors, foreigners. By minors, we mean those who are not 18 years, foreigners, and deceased persons on the voters register. In addition, qualified applicants can object to the names of persons who are not resident in the electoral areas where they registered, and those who are not of sound mind. Sub-Regulation 2C of Regulation 23 of CI 91 states that a person entitled to be registered as a voter may object, as set out in Form 7 of the schedule, to a person whose name whose name appears in the provisional register of voters on the ground that the person is not qualified to register as a voter. Voters are required to produce their voter's ID card. They are required to produce the voter ID card of the deceased person or proof of the death of that person, such as the death certificate or burial permit. In other words, you can't just go to the exhibition center and say someone is dead and that the person's name must be removed. You need to provide evidence to that effect. Anyone who was not qualified to register as a voter can also go to the center to have his or her name removed from the voters register. It is a crime to have your name on the register if you are not qualified. Literally, if you registered and you knew at the time you were not qualified, make sure you go to the center and have your name removed. The Commission has also provided a mechanism for registered voters to check their registration details electronically. Registered voters who are unable to visit the exhibition centers to verify their details may dial the short code *711*51# *711#. No, *711*51# on all networks. The voters' details will pop up to enable them check their details at a fee of 50 pesos. This option will be available during the exhibition exercise and even beyond. However, if the information received from the *711*51# contains an error with respect to the details of the voter will be required to go to his or her exhibition center to effect the necessary corrections. The special voters register will also be displayed at all the district offices of the Commission. All those who apply to be included in the special voters register must go to the district office of the Commission in their constituencies to ensure their names are in the special voters register. We wish to state that the exhibition exercise is part of the processes leading to the provision of the final voters register. Consequently, it is imperative for all registered voters, regardless of when they register, to go to the centers to check their details. Even if your name was in the voters register and you voted in 2020, you voted in 2023, you are still required to visit the exhibition center to check and ensure that your name is in the register. As we have noted, this exercise is aimed at corrections or the corrections of the provisional voters register to make it accurate and credible for the 2024 general elections. We would like to use this Let the Citizen Know platform to reiterate the Commission's commitment to free, fair, transparent, inclusive, and credible elections. We call on our stakeholders, including the general public, to support the Commission to deliver another successful presidential and parliamentary elections. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are thankful to you for your continuous assistance. We wish to urge you to use your platforms to counter misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation as we head into the presidential and parliamentary elections. The Commission will leave no stone unturned in its endeavor to achieve another successful milestone in the country's democratic elections. Thank you very much for your kind attention.